name is Linda Nueva, and I am a certified Iyengar Yoga teacher. Today is Simple and Beautiful Poses. This is our first installment, and we'll be looking at creating a solid foundation so that you can practice asanas in a safe and fun way. Come to an easy cross-legged sitting position. I have 2 blankets here. Take 2 blankets so that your knees are in line with your hips, or lower, but not higher. Take the back of the palms, rest them on the top of the thighs. Let the legs be heavy. Bring the shoulders right above the hips. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears and ascend through the top of the head. We'll begin practice today by closing our eyes, and I invite you to chant 3 Oms, the seed syllable of all creation. It is non-denominational, and we'll begin practice in this way. Palms in front of the chest. Take the attention inwards. Keep the chest lifted. Surrender the head to the heart. On an inhalation, gently lift the face and release the palms. Take your blankets and place them behind you and come to the center of the mat. Our first pose today is mountain pose, Tadasana. Separate the feet hip width apart and stand up straight. Gently bend the legs and feel the connection with the floor. Are you distributing the weight evenly between the right foot and the left? Now, you're going to straighten the legs, and I'm showing you the action with the back of my hands. You'll take the whole front of the quadriceps, the whole group of the quadricep muscles, and lift them towards the hips. Straight arms, straight legs. Keep the elbows locked and extend out through the fingertips. Exhale, release. That's mountain pose, with the feet spread to hip width distance. Let's take the classical mountain pose and see how that feels, because you'll have an option today to practice mountain pose with the feet together or with the feet hips width apart. Join the big toes. Lift the toes up from the floor so you feel yourself in the heels. Lift the quadriceps up towards the hips, just like we did before, and release the toes down to the floor. Keep the legs straight. With your mind's eye, bring your attention to the feet and see what the relationship is. Are you distributing the weight evenly between the left side and the right? Lift the torso gently off the hips and keep the legs straight. Bring the arms in front of you, arms straight, and then on an inhalation, lift the arms up. Elbows straight, lift the arms up. Take the arm bones back over the head. Now be in your heels. Feel the quadriceps lifting towards the hips. And extend from the feet all the way up through the fingertips. Exhale, release. So let's say you could only lift the arms to this, just to this degree with the arms straight. Then I would ask you to lift the arms there. Only take the arms to the degree that you can keep them straight. So if the arms are bent and they're way up here, some of the therapeutic benefit is lost. So let's do that together. Feet together, lift the quadriceps, straighten the arms by your side, be in your heels. On an inhalation, take the arms forward and lift them up as if you're drawing an arc with the small finger. And lift the arms in so far that you can keep the arms straight, straight, straight. Ground down through the heels. Let the shoulder girdle rise. Extend through the fingertips. Exhale, release. Okay, I'm going to turn my back to you for the next pose, which we'll also do starting in mountain pose. If you feel more comfortable with the feet hip width apart, please do that. Otherwise, you can take the feet in the classic pose with the feet together. So for the next pose, you're going to take the arms, roll them in, out, flap them to the sides, and then flap them so that you take hold of the forearm right after the wrist. Feet together. Let's do it again, right from the top. Mountain pose. Lift the quadriceps. Flap the arms. Out, in. Palms forwards, palms back. And then swing the arms around. Again, clasp where you can. It could be if that you just take hold of the fingertips. If that's where you are today, place the clasp right on the sacrum or hold the forearm right after the wrist. Join the feet. Mountain pose. Roll the fronts of the shoulders up and back. We're still in mountain pose. Bound hands. Cultivate a sense of one-pointed attention in the pose. Now, change the clasp of the hands the other way and re-roll your shoulders back and down. Dig the heels into the floor. I'm going to turn around to you again and negotiate with yourself and see what's possible. Can you take hold of the elbows? How does that feel? So if the front of the chest is collapsing, release the arms back and establish your mountain pose right from the very beginning. Exhale, let the arms go. Inhale, bring the hands to forward-facing prayer in Tadasana. Heels are heavy, legs are straight. Find that gentle lift of the torso off the hip bones and press the hands into each other. exhale, release. Let's take the hands in Namaskarasana, and we'll take the hands to the back. So I'm going to turn myself away from you so you can see what it looks like. I'm standing in Tadasana. I'm giving my arms a rotation or two, and then I place the palms right on top of the sacrum. Then rotate the wrists, find each palm, each finger to its opposite. Press the palms together and keep that press in the middle of the back. So if it's first thing in the morning and you're doing this video, the hands will probably be lower. When we practice in the afternoon and we have more circulation, you might feel a change in the pose, depending on what time of day you're practicing. Roll the shoulders back and away. Take your attention inwards, just like we did at the very beginning of class. It's like being a tuning fork. Are you leaning forwards or backwards? Find that sense of balance. It's like being a tuning fork between the earth and sky. Roll the shoulders back and away. This is so good if you've been on your phone a lot or in front of your computer. Exhale, release the arms down. Mountain pose again. Mountain pose is absolutely the master key. It teaches infinite amount of things that we can learn in our study of the yoga postures. Mountain pose, inhale the arms up, overhead, just like we did before, and join the palms. And then our next pose is Utkatasana, which is lightning bolt. I'm showing it from the side so you can see how I'm going to keep the natural curves of the spine. Feet heavy, arms high. Exhale, knees to the floor. Thighs heavy. Straighten the arms to the best of your ability. Inhale. Exhale. Arms to the sides. Let's do Utkatasana again. So the name of the pose is Utkatasana. And Ut, whenever you see that in a Sanskrit name of pose, you know it's going to be intense. Let's do it together. Mountain pose. Arms overhead. Straighten those arms, straighten those legs. Join the palms. Exhale. I'm going to turn to my side, and I'm even going to come a little closer so you can really see. Heels heavy, thighs towards the floor. Be mindful not to pitch too much forwards or too much back. Straighten the legs. Keep the arms heavy. Exhale, release the arms. Come to mountain pose with the feet hip width apart. Take a look down. How are your arches doing? Being in mountain pose really teaches us how to stand. Lift the arches, separate the feet. Again, this direction of lifting the quadricep group of muscles up towards the thighs, you're going to hear it so many times, but it really creates a stability for our standing poses. So again, bend the knees, lift those quadriceps as you straighten the legs. Yes. We're going to do a standing forward fold. I'm coming to my side so you can see. Feet hip width apart. Hands on the hips. Fold forward forwards from the hips. And then clasp the hands in front of you, just like we did at the beginning of the class. You can take the hands to the forearm, right after the wrist, or you can take the hands to the elbows. Distribute the weight over the balls of the feet, the toe mounds. Keep those thighs lifted, and then let the spine descend towards the floor like a waterfall. To come up, place your hands on your hips, and then lead from the tops of the shoulders. Let's do standing forward bend again. And this time we're going to do it with the hands in the opposite clasp. So I want to just talk about the issue of sometimes when I see standing forward bend, I'll see people really bend their knees. If you're really, really tight in the hamstrings, a small micro bend, yes. But to really create over time, I'd prefer that you keep your legs straight and come down less. But a slight micro bend is okay. If you have a serious bend in the knees to get to that place, I would say take your arms in front of you and place them on a chair. That would be the safest alternative. Feet hip width apart. Lift those arches of the feet. Distribute the weight of the body across the right and left side. Check in with yourself. Quadriceps lifted. Fold forwards. Take the clasp of the hand in the opposite manner that you did before. You can bend the knees for a minute and then straighten them to the best of your ability. The legs are strong, and it's that strength in the legs that helps the spine release like a waterfall towards the floor. Hands on the hips, and come on up. Take mountain pose in the middle of your mat. So I'm going to show with the classic mountain pose with the feet together. Bring the fingertips in front of you, and you can either jump or step wide. The feet are about 3.5 feet apart. Point the toes forwards. Keep the feet in the same line. So it's not like there's going to be 1 foot forwards and 1 foot back. The feet are in the same plane. So just take a brief look-see and make sure that's happening. Lift the arches of the feet. Hands in front of the chest. Extend the arms out. This pose is called extended legs, extended arms. Utthita means extended, hasta is hand, and pada is a foot. This is one of the beginning, I would say, one of the beginning places for all of the standing poses. Are you lifting your quadriceps? It's the same direction from Tadasana. Let the torso gently lift off the hip bones so it's not slumping over. Keep the sacrum and the tailbone deep in the body and extend the arms. Extend those arms straight in line with the shoulders. You can either jump or step back to the classic mountain pose. Let's come to extended legs, extended arms again. Either jump or you can step if you have any knee or hip injury. I'm going to show it with the stepping. Toes forwards. That's it. Arms in line with the shoulders. Now, turn the entire right leg out. So oftentimes, it's a very casual movement. People just go, what? Turn the right leg out. But we really want to do the poses in such a way that we're creating a long-lasting change in the body to create strength and flexibility and a sense of calm and one-pointedness. So turn the whole right leg out from the hip. That's it. And the back leg is in. Now, draw a line, an imaginary line, if you will, from the right heel to the center of the left arch. That provides, again, for a stable and anatomically safe way to start doing the standing poses. Turn the right foot forwards, and now do the same on the left side. Repose, reestablish your extended arms, extended legs, and then turn the left foot out entirely from the hip. So it's not a casual movement. And then turn the right foot in about, say, it's kind of like a very pigeon-toed stance. Imaginary line from the left heel through the right arch. Extend those arms out to the side. Inhale, point the toes forwards. Tadasana. Our next pose is Utthita Trikonasana, which is extended triangle pose. Utthita, extended, Trikonasana, triangle. Those are our Sanskrit gems for the day. And I'm going to show the pose with a block. So in Iyengar Yoga, we aim to bring the pose to you in an individual way. So my pose is going to look a little bit different from your pose, even though there's certain quote-unquote safety axioms we always follow. So we're not just using a block because we're sloppy, but we're using the block so we can bring a sense of safety and also a sense to help you do the pose in a way that's comfortable and right for you. So I'm going to show the placement of the block. And I'm going to show you two options here for triangle pose. You can take two blocks. You place one on the horizontal side, on the bottom side, and then place another block on top. That will give you more height. Or you can take one block and place it right there. It's up to you. I'm going to place my blocks towards the back corners of my mat. Tadasana. Extended legs, extended arms. I'm organizing my feet so that the feet are in the same plane. And I can feel myself lifting the quadriceps up towards the hip and keeping the sacrum tailbone in. Turn the right foot out from the hip and turn the left foot in. Keep that heel to arch alignment. Now I'm going to adjust my block and I'm going to place it right behind the heel. I'm turning out to the side. Press the left heel into the floor. Get long through the right side and place the right hand on the block. And bring the left arm up for triangle pose. Again, you can take that extra block and a half if you need it to be comfortable. Again, straight legs, straight arms. Inhale, come up. Point the toes forwards. Turn the left foot out at the hip and the right leg back. Take a minute to organize. I'm placing the block right behind my left ankle. And again, I am mirroring you. I am mirroring you. heel to arch alignment. Take that sacrum tailbone into the body. So the buttocks aren't jutting out towards the back. Press the right heel down and extend out over the left. Place the left hand onto the block and lift the right arm up. Inhale to come out. Inhale with the right arm, let it come up. Point the toes forwards. Bring your hands to the hips. Mountain pose. I'm going to remove the blocks and place them behind me for warrior two. And we're going to do just the bottom half of the pose, hips to the feet first. Mountain pose. Make it your best mountain pose of the day. Fingertips in front. Jump or step wide. Yes. Point the toes ahead. And it's a slightly wider stance than triangle. So maybe 3.5, 4 feet. Organize the feet. Tailbone deep into the body. Feel those quadriceps lifting. And now turn the right leg out at the hip. Place the hands on the hip. The left leg will be heavy. And on an exhalation, let the right knee bend so that it comes towards a 90-degree angle. Now I want to show something here, because we love our knees, yes? We love our knees. So that right knee can form a square, can form a right angle, but it's not going to go over the ankle. So sometimes when I'm teaching live, I'll notice that people will bring the knee over the ankle like that. Please come back up. It's okay to bend the knee, and safe if it's not at a 90-degree angle. So either come to the 90-degree angle or back off it a little bit. But under no circumstances, don't come forward and bring the knee over the ankle, okay? Okay, so join me in this pact. I will treat my body safely and respectfully, and listen to myself as I'm practicing yoga. Hands on the hips. Left heel heavy, bend the right knee to a right angle or before, and again, create that heel to arch alignment between the right heel and the left, okay? So that keeps your buttocks and spine in a neutral position. Press the left heel down to the floor and then straighten the right leg. Toes forwards. Turn the left foot out. Right leg in. Heel to arch alignment. Let the hands on the hips help you to lift the chest. On an exhalation, bend the left knee towards a 90-degree angle or before. And keep this right leg straight. Is your quadricep slack? Lift it up. Is your sacrum tailbone pointing way back? Bring it in a bit. Straighten the leg. Point the toes forwards. Mountain pose. Warrior two. Let's do the whole pose. Warrior two. Okay. Classic mountain pose. Step or jump, wide. Face the toes forwards. Straighten the arms. Straighten the legs. Turn the right leg out from the hip and turn the left foot in. Extend the arms in line with the shoulders. Sometimes people will bring them way up here or way down there. Use your inner eye to create that line. Left heel heavy. Bend the right knee towards a 90-degree angle. And then look out over the right arm as you stretch the left arm back. That thigh work really comes in handy here. Release the pose. If it's available to you, keep the arms up, straightened and extended in between the poses. Otherwise, bring the hands to your hips. Turn the left leg out, right foot in. Right heel heavy. Bend the left leg. Arms in line with the shoulder. Look out over the left fingertips and extend the right arm back. Yes. Straighten the leg. Point the toes forwards. Classic mountain pose. Separate the feet, hip width apart, just like we did at the very beginning. Hands on the hips. How do your legs feel? Does it feel any different lifting the quadriceps up to the hips so strongly? And then we'll take the standing forward fold with the hands clasping towards the opposite elbow again. Fold forwards. Opposite hand towards the opposite forearm or elbow. Change the clasp of the hand. Place the hands on the hips and gently come up. Take a blanket, and the blankets come folded out of the closet like this, and fold it just one time so that it looks like a postage stamp. So it looks like this. Bring the blunt edge of the mat facing forwards. And sit on top of the blanket and extend your legs in front of you. If you need another blanket to sit up straight, by all means take it. Let the thighs be heavy and let the backs of the heels dig into the floor. Place the hands by the hips. And you'll see it's the same leg actions that we had in mountain pose and the same lift in the torso that we had in mountain pose. So I'm going to turn to my side for just a sec so you can see. I've got my body so it's creating a right angle. Be mindful and be honest with yourself that if you need extra height to sit at a right angle in staff pose, please be comfortable. Extend the legs in front of you. Take the right leg out to the side and take the left leg out to the side. Press the thighs towards the floor. This is extended, seated, wide angle. So it's not the splits, but we've got a wide angle of the legs. Let the buttocks be heavy and lift the arms, just like we did in the very beginning of class. So the legs descend towards the floor and the arms ascend towards the ceiling. Legs descend, arms ascend. Bring the hands, one hand in front of the right leg and one to the back, and gently twist to the right. Keep the legs as quadriceps descending. The chest ascends, yes. Takes a lot of work. It's as if there was an elephant standing on your thighs. It's really easy to take this pose and let the legs be slack, but then nothing's happening. Bring the hands in front of you again. Lift up the arms again. Exhale. Bring one hand in front of the leg and the other to the back, and twist to the left. Legs descend, and the torso ascends, even though there's a little bit of a twist. Come back to neutral. Okay, take your blanket, like so. And we're going to do child's pose. So we're going to have the blanket to the wide open. Separate the knees just to the width of your torso and join the toes. Take the blanket and bring it all the way up behind the hip joint. Glue the back of the buttock bones to the heels. And again, if you want to take a second blanket or a third blanket, please feel free to do so. Extend the torso forwards and straighten the arms. If your head is coming up here, then you can take an extra blanket and place the forehead on it like so. Buttocks to the heels. Press the palms into the floor and let the spine lengthen. Bring the palms forwards and sit on up. So let's take final resting pose, Shavasana. We did a lot of foundational work to really create a strong basis of knowledge to keep ourselves safe so we can practice yoga our whole lives. Bring the blanket back to postage stamp position, and then when you lay down, you're going to lay down on the blanket so it's like so. So the blanket's going to come all the way to the tips of the shoulders and support the head. Consciously and attentively lay down on your mat and come into Shavasana. Bring the blanket to the tops of the shoulders and extend the legs forwards. Big toes to the floor. Extend the arms to the sides. Close the eyes from top to bottom. Draw the attention inwards. I will be quiet for a minute or so as we lie together virtually in Shavasana. Come out of the pose, bend the knees. Take the right arm and place it behind your head. And on an exhalation, roll to your side. Roll with that exhalation and let the back round. Use the left arm to press up. You can take the blanket for your head and sit on it again. Easy cross-legged position, just like we did at the beginning of class. Hands to Namaskar Mudra.